Are you ready?
Is it really filming?
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Coach Richardson, and this is another episode of Becoming Uncommon. And I have my good friend, Magnolia. For those of you that don't know, Magnolia and I ran track together at Long Beach State and stayed connected ever since. And so for me, this is a good opportunity, again, just to kind of show the different avenues that life takes us. Sometimes, especially as former college student athletes, we think the world is going to be a certain way. We think our journey is going to be a certain way. One thing I've always been fortunate to have Magnolia as one of those kind of beacons of hope that you can still pursue your passions after you run and kind of use some of that. But outside of that, Magnolia, can you please introduce yourself?
Hey everyone, I'm Magnolia, Howell. I go by Lafleur as my pen name for art. I sort of wanted to separate track me from art me. But yeah, I ran track at Cal State Long Beach, Go Beach, and I was a journalism major. I worked as a journalist for years, and I just recently got my master's in fine art at Laguna College of Art and Design. And now I'm here at Billis Williams with my feature show.
Yeah. I'm going to go back. So how'd you get into track and field?
So I've been running since fourth grade. Okay. I was a Bantam, USATF, you know, in Omaha, Nebraska. And so yeah, I ran in high school, middle school, elementary, all that, did the whole kind of circuit. And then I was state champion in Nebraska in the 1 and the 2. And then moved to California, went to Mount Sac, and then from Mount Sac went to Cal State Long Beach.
Oh, you know, it's so funny. I just casually erased that out of my mind.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you?
Wait, I'll edit this, yeah, and we'll take Mount Sac out. But you went to Long Beach State. No, okay. I don't think you should. I will do that on the back end.
We can do it. I can say it again.
No, okay. I'm going to keep all this in there.
Okay.
Yeah, because I want my competitive nature, you know, Cerritos versus Mount Sac to, you know, shine through.
Oh, because that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, the other question is this, because we're filming, right?
Yeah.
If we accidentally say Scriggle Diggles, it's not.
I'm going to keep that in because I want to see how the AI captions Scriggle Diggles.
Oh, frig, dog.
Yeah.
I'm trying to throw AI off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Scriggle. You're going to break the AI.
So anti-AI, bro.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I love AI. Freaking computers listening. I love AI.
So went to Long Beach State, and
yes.
What was your major?
Print journalism.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you know what you wanted to do? So you go into Long Beach State, you're getting your major, you're trying to, because I know most athletes don't think about it in the moment, but we're aware that there's gonna be life. We got to do something later.
Exactly.
So what was your, I guess, mindset of what your future was going to be after track?
Well, I always knew I wanted to be a writer. And originally it was screenwriting and but then I was well, I remember going to the counselor and she was film classes at the same time as track practice. Mm-hmm. So she's like, what's your second thing? I was like, journalism, because I can publish. And it's still similar, akin to film in that you're writing stories about people. And I remember the counselor tried to talk me out of print journalism because she said, wait, time out, should I even say this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
She tried to talk me out of print journalism because she said, we don't have anyone in that department. So when you go
there was no blueprint of an athlete doing it.
Yeah, that, and also I think, and I don't know if this happens, I think this happens in many schools, which is something athletes should look out for. A university, no matter which one you go to, it's a great thing also for them to have you. You are a part of what bolsters the greatness of that college, And so in tandem with that is they have professors that have also worked with the athletes in certain majors. So if you have to leave for a meet, if there's certain inconveniences, that major, there's very particular majors that literally will kind of work in tandem with letting the athlete go on certain days. Whereas with print journalism, there hadn't really been a blueprint for that. And so if I have to leave on a certain day, I may not be able to get out, or I may get a low grade because I didn't show up that day. So basically it's all on you, And I remember she was like, you should do communications. And I was like, no, I'm a writer. And this happened with several athletes at the time, actually, and many athletes changed their majors because of it. Yeah, it was a bad thing in some ways because what you said about having life after college, when you go in there, you're like, I got recruited, I'm on scholarship, let's go. Mm-hmm. And then oftentimes, the school you have your agenda, the school has their agenda, And sometimes they can run parallel, but sometimes they can also oppose each other. Mm-hmm. And I think where it opposes each other is that the school isn't always contemplating what an athlete is beyond an athlete. Yeah. And I think that can be troublesome in terms of when I was there, it was really pushing me to do a major without explaining what the life would be with the communications. It's just like, you should just do it because we know people
Check
in
this
there.
box.
Yeah. And there was no kind of like, and once you do it, these are all the things you can do. It's just, I remember her saying to me, "You're on a scholarship, right?" I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm on a scholarship." And she's like,
So toe the line.
"Yeah." And she's like, "So if you have to get out of class, if you have to do," she's like, "and you get a grade bad, even including grade, if you get a bad grade, if you do anything crazy, you could lose your scholarship because you have to keep a certain GPA, you know, in order to run." And so I was like, "Yeah, that's fine." Okay, so I have to do my homework and then develop a strong relationship with my professors and basically communicate with them on a daily basis and really let them know in advance when I have meets and figure out when I can make up for those classes. Okay, so like your responsibility, and it's gonna be what the world actually is like, you know? Like you're managing, or even just life, you're managing 2 ideas at one time at a very high caliber. So to me, I'm like, yeah, that's fine. And she's like, "Well, I'm just letting you know because you're on scholarship and you could lose it." And I was like, what's with this scary feeling of like what's gonna happen? What is this weird thing I'm being faced with of like, am I gonna be in the program and if I have to go to meet and I don't go to the class, I'm gonna get a failing grade and then suddenly I get low GPA and they kick me out of the scholarship. So I kind of like, I have like strong parents, and I'm saying that because to me it sort of helped a little bit having a little bit of like that background that I was like, no, like my parents cared more about the schooling than they did the sport, you know? And so I think that's a good thing. I think that even though I'm like a track head, if you had to like forego one, like the future of your brain and your mindset and skill set in life is really important. And so an athlete should be able to maintain both.
Yeah. A true student athlete.
Yeah, a true student athlete. You should be able to maintain both because that's the whole point of the scholarship to me, is that you are being told that you are of a very high caliber human. And a high caliber human on the track, even if you don't think you're good at the books, you actually are high caliber in the classroom, because that means that you have the high aptitude to be able to perform, period. To perform, period, in anything at the highest level that most people are afraid of in terms of pain. So you can apply that to anything. So to me, when some people go, "I'm not good at this, I'm not good in the classroom," you don't have to be particularly good at math. You have to be very good at discipline, commitment, and the high will and mindset to perform at a high level. Then you'll become good at math. I mean, because if you said someone, you got to be on the relay, you wouldn't go, "I'm not good at it." You'd go, "Where do I meet you? What time? Like, let's go," you know? Presuming you have a coach, there's different types of coaches. So you have great coaches and you have coaches that could be even more limited in mind as it regards to what you are off the track, you know? So if you have a great coach, unlimited everywhere.
Yeah.
If your coach is then you're unlimited on the track and that's all they care about. But then the rest is kind of like, they don't see how that actually affects this part.
Or they don't care.
Yeah, or they don't care.
Very
And you're going like, and either one you get, as an athlete, you just deal with it.
Yeah.
And you just have to know it in yourself what you are. But like when you do get the one that's kind of, you know, skadiggle and kind of like just thinks of you as an athlete and as a running horse and it's about stats and numbers, you know, it's up to you to sort of almost walk with a declaration of like exactly who you are. So you do great on the track, but you do your grades, you do your school, you do the arts, whatever it is you're doing, that you kind of don't allow, and this is like for anything, like anybody who has a minimal view or a, you know, a very containing view of you, to sort of keep you inside of a space of this is all you kind of really are. Because I think I felt sometimes in the program that there was elements of that, where you're a brown athlete and all you guys are just like these great running horses. And that's awesome. You got a lot of, and you're going like, it's like brilliant people out here. Do you know what I mean? Like Charles was great at like drawing. You know what I mean? Like there was so many athletes that had all these deep thoughts.
Some great musicians too,
Yeah, deep thoughts. Yeah, that's right. There was what was there? There was like 2 of them that used to play the guitar.
Gold.
Alex,
Alex.
that's right. You know what I mean?
He's really good. I think, you know, people say, "Oh, I play the guitar," and you're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, you just, you know, ding, 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 ding."
Right.
No, he was like really like a pro.
That's right.
Yeah,
and so you're going like, that makes sense. High caliber functioning here, and then he was funny. It's like there's people like Brent Gray, like funny.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like funny people, and you're going like, that seems like not a skill trade, but as you get older, those are skill trades. It's like to be charming, to be funny, to be endearing, to not take yourself too seriously. Like the fact that there was a lot of the guys, I felt like a lot of the guys were funny on the team. Like I thought you were funny. And you're going like, when you're on a team, that stuff is looked at as like, oh, he's really fast and he's goofy. And you're going, no, he's really fast and he's developed a really great coping mechanism. Like he knows how to take the mickey out of stuff. He knows how to be really intense here, but then not to let pain sour him. That's a great trait, you know? So it's more than just like, oh, he's a funny guy. You're going, no, that's a great trait and you shouldn't let go of that because life is gonna get crazy. Do you know what I mean? Like life is gonna have craziness and you're gonna need one of your ammunitions needs to be humor to get through it. Otherwise it's just gonna be, you know, it's gonna age you, like spiritually, you know? So yeah, that was Long Beach and there was great and there was stress about Long Beach for me. But like, I feel like whichever basket you're in, whether you love it, whether you kind of love it, whether you don't love it, whatever it is, you use it. Like you use that to kind of form you and make you stronger. Like there should never be an excuse to why you've decided why you're not going to do something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like whether I like a coach or not, whether I like a system or not, I've already made a decision about what I'm going to be. And I feel like it's the same thing when you're in track. Like if someone mess to you right before a race, you're like, you should develop a system. And as an athlete, most of them do. Like, now I'm running faster. Like now I was gonna kind of beat you.
Now I'm really.
Yeah, now I'm gonna beat you in a weird, crazy, like insane way. Like in
I
some.
want you to quit.
Yes,
after.
right. I want you to retire after this race. That is about like a weird. Not like a self-knowing, but maybe like that's the constitution to me of an athlete. Like that's your constitution. Like the moment a university, a school, junior college, anywhere tells you that they want you out there, you automatically know that you are in a very specific, in my opinion, type of elite group of humans on earth. And I say elite to mean you have a superior mindset about how you think of pain and how your relationship with pain is. And in some ways, you showed that you can take pain and turn it into something really amazing. You can turn it into a win. Whether you got 5th or 4th, the fact that you're first, you're on that line and you're literally saying, I don't mind to be challenged in front of people. And I don't mind to win or to lose. And either one of those, you've each day sort of put yourself out there. So that's a superior to me mindset about life because life can be so hard that if you don't accept that constitution about yourself and that you're actually made of something like that, then if you get 5th, if you get 6th, if you're not always getting 1st, then what happens when you graduate in life? You're gonna go, well, I guess I should stop, you know, because you didn't get these things. It's like, no, you should have a constitution that like, I'm gonna be the best, I'm going to be the greatest, I am the greatest, and even if you're 5th, I'm the greatest. And tomorrow I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna be the greatest again. And it should just be that mindset all the time. And not greatest like you're better than someone as a human, but like you versus you. You're going, I am the greatest version of myself at every time. And then if you didn't do it that day, you go, this was the best I could do today, and tomorrow I'll do even better. And you just kind of like sink yourself with that mantra because life knocks you down so much that you have to kind of be on your side.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you sort of overshoot it without being arrogant, life knocks you down so much that I feel like you'll hit in the middle.
You'll
You know what I mean?
still
Like,
be all
right.
right.
You kind of want to hit because it's like if you go with nothing of just like, man, I guess I kind of suck, or I guess I was the last in the pack today. Oh man, she's so much better. You're going like, no, the world's that's already exists around you. Like, I did the best day at practice. Man, it was a tough day. I felt challenged, but like I got that frustrating day out of the way. So that's good because I needed those. You're going to have those. It's a guarantee you have to have those. So you go, awesome, I got rid of that. Great, so tomorrow's going to be great. And if tomorrow's not great, then you go, whew, got rid of another one of those bad days.
Yeah.
Like, you just have to sort of like re-angle it every time.
Well, you have to understand, the odds, right? The odds of having consecutive bad days is low.
Right.
You know, even beyond that is even lower. So yeah, there's something to look forward to.
That's right, because you're right. You're kind of getting it out of the way, and like life is just going to be like that. You graduate, you have all these work and like ambitions, family ambitions, husband, wife, children, and in order to survive emotionally and spiritually and to pass that resilience on to your kid, you kind of have to start now. Like I don't like I've met people that like who think like you become a parent
When you
when you get there, or you become like a good spouse or a good husband or wife, and I'm going like that's starts you're becoming a good husband, in my opinion, like your whole life, and especially once you get into college, you're becoming a good wife. It starts and now. You know what I mean? Like there is no like.
And then you think you're to flip a switch. No. Well, I tell athletes that like a lot of the community college kids, they think that it's like, oh, once I get the scholarship, then my work ethic's going to be different. Right. It's like, no, you will default to your norm.
That's right.
And so you got to overshoot like crazy.
Because if anything, once you get into that higher caliber position, it's so challenging to be the best in that situation, to be the most honest, to be the most caring, to be the most efficient, that if you weren't already going in with that energy, you for sure will be lower.
The stress is higher.
Yeah,
what do you think is going to happen? Yeah.
You will become even a lower version of yourself because it will be so challenging that you might even go, you might give into it and fold and go, forget it. I'd rather not even look like I'm trying and maintain this.
Too much of that.
Yeah, maintain a kind of aura of being, interesting? And then it's like, you're not really that interesting.
Yeah.
You just kind of, you're just like walking around with your chin up.
Yeah.
And it's like a temporal arrogance that doesn't survive the long run. It's like, it's really short-term thinking. It's kind of like being on teams. And I saw this when I went pro. I ran for Trinidad. And I saw this where you've got different caliber athletes and everybody's so cool. Do you know what I mean? Like everybody's just so cool. It's like, being cool is good, but like...
I love when you said being cool is good. I'm going to make a t-shirt.
Do you know what I mean? Like being cool is good, but then you're going like, but it's got to be like, it's got to be managed with like around that circle of like dense coolness has to be like a layer of like humility, like a thin shell of humility that wraps you being cool. So that when you're facing the world, it's with like an openness, a benevolence, a gratitude that is in recognition that this may not always be that way. So like to be cool in that way where you're just like cool, it's like you might be the best right now, but life is a long game. And humility, while being really cool, is a much better, sustainable and healthy mindset for the world.
But when you say that, because I think about the perception of cool, like that's what it is. It's like you're trying to portray a perception.
Right.
All the while, like I think everyone in the world would agree that like the grit, the hard work, like all the stuff that it has essence isn't very cool.
No.
But I think everybody knows that.
I agree.
But it's like, somehow there's so much validity in like the perception of cool.
Right. And this kind of a Grease Lightning Danny Zuko walking around like, hey, pop collared, and you're going like, but have you done the work?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you said, like the parts that kind of aren't cool are sometimes it is coming in sixth place. And you're going like, you should think you're cool still. Like you shouldn't go up and down with that. And I think it's the same thing out of life. Like I've met people like my dad used to say, people think a janitor is just a janitor. He goes, the janitor has the keys to every room in the building. He goes, the janitor knows all the paperwork of everybody and everything that's happening in the company. I was like, dang, that's a lot of power. And so he was just saying like, never essentially, first of all, never minimize anyone in any way. But like, if you were thinking from a strategic mindset, everybody has usefulness. Everybody has more power than you could possibly think in terms of, I feel like that cool Danny Zuko thing is asserting that you are the most important and asserting that no one else has something great to offer you. Yeah. And it's like everybody around you has like something you're missing. Every human has like a cool ingredient that makes you more whole. I mean, except for bad people. Like obviously, but then they kind of have an ingredient because they're being bad. Yeah. Can make you kind of go, okay, I don't want to be that. Yeah. But like, to me, that whole cool thing when you're in college, it's that. It's thinking that there's like, you're playing with the hierarchy stuff and you're going like, just get on the track and run. Yeah. Just do the work. You don't need to be like you're cooler or you're more interesting than someone else. What makes you cooler and more interesting is you go to class, you listen to your coach, you do the assignment, and you deliver. And if you don't deliver that day, you do the best you can to deliver the next day. And every day of your practice is like attempting to give the best of yourself, not just on the track, but how you are in relation to people. Because I felt like at Long Beach, that was one thing I felt that I liked, I guess, about some of the athletes' interactions. Like some of the athlete interactions, I felt like Brent. Brent was always nice.
Yeah.
He was the fastest.
Yeah.
You know, you were the best heptathlete, and you were always nice. But also, you were really smart. And so there were some people that broke the mold to me of this. No, I'm not just this like great heptathlete. Even some of the throwers, like just Ezra. You know, there were people biology majors, and you're going like, there's people that were really high performing, but then behind closed doors weren't partying it up like that. And Charles, like they were drawing in their books and working on animation and working on their skills, but you don't know.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, you want to being cool is what you said. Being cool is like getting in the work, having confidence with a huge slice of humility on the side, you know, and never being, if you're a person that's always getting first, never letting that go to your head, because that same person next to you, the next day could beat you.
Yeah.
The next month you could be hurt. Or even in life, you could graduate and you were the fastest person in that school. Do you know what I mean? And like 5 years later, the person that barely made that team is the CEO of a company that you're trying to work with. And I feel like athletes sometimes, and I think other sports too, and other events, even in art world, kind of, it happens in the art world. You get very limited terms thinking about, like, you are this thing right now, that's it. And you're going like, no, that person's like, some people are like crazy unlimited in their mindset, you know?
So like, I really take away from that is persona, regardless of your circumstance.
Yes.
And just being, like that level, and going more specifically to you, you've always been a very eclectic, deep thinking, authentic person.
Oh, that's nice.
I loved when because you had an intensity to you.
Yeah.
And I remember like there was times where I saw the fire come out.
That's
yeah,
right.
that was a lot of fun. Yeah. But
that's right.
So like,
people never think that because I'm so like, hey everybody. But I'm
sometimes,
like,
there were times where you were fired up. Like you came in with this like just like I don't know, like a little twinge of crazy.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, you're a wild card.
Yeah, that's right.
You're a wild card.
I agree with that.
Yeah, but I loved when I got a chance to know you through just like on the track.
Yeah.
And then we would cross paths and then we would sit longer. And I think our relationship really grew even more so like towards the end of our college careers.
I agree, yeah.
And I kind of look back and I'm like, dang, I should have took advantage of the bus rides and some of those opportunities to really connect a little bit deeper.
I feel the same way.
Yeah.
But I think, you're so like in the rigmarole of the whole thing.
Yeah, we're like, you're rushing the art class. And
You're kind of in the mix of everything that I feel like it's hard for you to even, no one like tells you how human everybody is. I don't know. I mean, do you know what I mean? Sort
that's
of like,
crazy.
I don't mean that in a weird way, but like.
No, because that's one thing I've even learned just in this last few years of my life. Like there's so much more depth to people. Yeah,
and that people are like really, like sometimes I think you just think you're alone in whatever you're sort of dealing with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether it's good or bad, you're just like, man, I'm the only one. Like everyone's like, I'm like, even if you're not lonely, there's an element of lonesomeness about just being an individual.
Yeah.
But you share it with everybody. But sometimes you just think you're the only one that had that circumstance. And you're going like, so I feel like maybe you're connecting with people because you're going to events, you're going to parties, you're going to these things, but you're going, that's why I think sometimes if you can, especially when you go to college, if there's something I would do different or underline more, like I had moments of silence with people where we would talk, but I'm like, I think I would engage in that even more.
Yeah.
And I do believe that while it's good to be like open, there should be, when you know who you are, or even if you're discovering who you are, whatever you come from, whether it's 2-parent home, 1-parent home, foster care, no matter what it is, there's been like centuries of generations of bloodlines that are supporting you. Even if there's something bad right near you, there's been so many great things that have come through the line to make you this like human. And so not everybody's on the same emotional and spiritual journey, and you could meet someone who's not intending to throw you off on something, but like it's really important that you at least sort of, I say honor your bloodline, but kind of like, it's like there's this thing of like, I've met people that go, yeah, but my parents were kind of bad. And you're going like, yeah, but then there's your grandparents and your great-grandparents, and there's like the whole like universe of like power that has come before you, and you're great. So you need to protect your spiritual, emotional, and mental space. And it might be having some zero tolerance for you are being nice to people, say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and then that's a wrap. Because especially as you get older, I think, and my dad used to say, like, beware of the company you keep, you know? And I remember he used to have us, like, we grew up with a lot of mantras and sayings, and Daddy and Mom used to, before we go to bed, and even before we go to school every day, he'd say, bad company is worse than a, and we have to go, thief, worse than a, killer, worse than a, and you'd have to list up all these things. And he goes, why? Because I'll get you to do it. And then I remember my sister and I'd go in our room and go, how could bad company be worse than a killer? A killer will kill you. But now that I'm older, I'm like, oh, because you're not inherently just gonna be born and be like, come out with a knife and go kill somebody. You know, you're not a Chucky. You're going like, it's company. It's the company you keep. It's the company you keep. And company you keep meaning what you look at social media, that's company. What you're reading, what you're watching. So I grew up in a strict household, and I do believe that I can be graciously, externally kind, but I do believe that, in my opinion, that keeping your circles small is important. Like your family, and then maybe very succinct people that sync with your morals, with your sense of even what you want to be, what you are looking to be, versus, you know, you can be very nice to somebody and not allow them, in my opinion, front door access to something that could possibly derail you in the long run, even if they look really fun. Because there was plenty of people that I thought, oh man, they're fun, they're exciting, they're cool, but I knew, like, it's like water to a rock. If I spend time with this person, just like your show, if you watch certain things on TV that you think don't affect you, like everything you say and do is a byproduct of everything that you've surrounded yourself with. So then, if you want to run a really good race, but you're hanging out with someone that the night before was hanging out late, maybe they're cool to hang out at lunch at school, but maybe you shouldn't be hanging outside of track beyond those hours with that person. You know what I mean? So it's like, I feel like it's like a fridge. Some people have their expiration dates. And you just gotta go, you're just supposed to be the person that I sit and do my pre-training with because you're great at pre-trainings. This other person, you're like a lifer. You have no expiration date. This other person, you're good for college. And then after college, you may not have an interest to further yourself in certain ways. And it's not to say you shouldn't have, we all have weaknesses. So like your friends are gonna have weaknesses, but there's some things, in my opinion, that should be, you know, I don't know, what do you think? Do you think it's better to sort of be super open, or what do you think about how that concept, or how to manage that?
You're asking the wrong person. I'm what you would call a serial introvert.
Yeah.
So if any opportunity you give me to not engage, I will do that. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No, but I think I even take it further, because what I'm thinking about as well is, like, especially what you elaborated with, is like the grander picture of your social community and everything, is being like having the intuition.
Right.
Like, I think not a lot of people trust their gut enough.
Right.
I think there's a kind of a lost art in respecting intuition.
I agree. I think that's by limiting your social media and television, and I say this as someone who's a journalist, like I have a love-hate relationship with the journalism universe. And I think, like, when I do art events sometimes, like paint parties, and I will tell people, all right, everyone, like, have a good day, turn your TVs off, talk to your neighbor, you know, like, enjoy each other. Everything's in high school. I remember I was like you, where it's like I was really I'm like extroverted at home. Like at home with my family and friends, I'm scridiggle, like, you know, but in public, I'm like, like, I don't think so. And so I'm more like an owl. But then in high school, I remember I wanted to run for class president, and I was like, and always the funny guy or the loud guy, and I was like, why can't I be what I am at home publicly? And I was like, I don't know how to, like, reconcile that. And so I ran for class president just to do a speech to try to get over the feeling of what you're saying. Like, it's like you're almost, it's like challenging yourself, which is what track sort of, that is. You're going, like, you constantly should be sharpening yourself. You're going, like, all right, so I would like to be a leader in some ways, but then I don't really know how to bring what I am at home out. So then I ran. I read like a really long, boring speech, and I didn't get it.
Aw.
And I know.
Yeah.
But like it was good because I remember being nervous and I didn't win, and then that was good not winning, to be honest, because I shouldn't have won because I didn't give.
Yeah.
It was like a boring speech. After working all like that at that time period during the pandemic as a full-time journalist, it was like there was really great things about it because you're going, I'm a purveyor of truth and information, so that's wonderful. And also it's a privileged position to be in a position where you are trusted to give people information that does not have a left or right side, but just information so that someone, a mom or a dad, or an old person or a young person can make a decision based off of that.
Yeah.
And I believe in journalism in what I would call the old-fashioned way, meaning completely objective. It doesn't matter if the perspectives are left, liberal, right, conservative, doesn't matter what it is. Your job is to not be any of those things as a writer. Your job is to just go, look, I saw this divot here and it was yellow and it made this thing, and then someone can decide, I don't like that, or I do. And so I'm what I call old school. It's history you're writing. Like, this is history. It's history because it doesn't even matter if I write something and gets 5 reads today. The magnitude and powerful effect that piece will have in the future of recording who someone is and what someone is mostly going to be impactful as a thing looked back upon. And so it's kind of like we were talking about earlier about, like, you don't want to live so much for the now that you're not taking into account. Like, you want to be present, but you want to take into account that there's another version of you that you hope will thank you for the things that you did a certain way. And so then I was like, I had been doing art while I was running track. I'm mentioning the segue, but basically since 2012, I was painting a lot and doing drawings. And so I did some of the local galleries when I lived in LA. And so while I was doing the journalism thing, I thought, let me refine another storytelling passageway so that I'm not just really great at writing, and not great, but just really good at writing, a good writer, or a not even good writer, a writer that always aims, like track, to be good, you know? So I thought, what's a more benevolent way of discussing how I get through things, or an optimistic way of looking at the world, or discussing news or information without it polarizing people the way words do nowadays. And then on the other side of that, as even just being an athlete or even just a worker, you're going like, if someone gives you a good critique, you sort of want to develop a hairy chest, metaphorically, for that. Do you know what I mean? And go, okay, let me hear that. Because I don't want to be confined to the pleasantries of life only and a utopic mindset to where if someone says, Magnolia, that's not it, that you go, oh, I'm triggered now. You know, you want to be able to go, okay, I need to be better about that, and I want to change. So I think like let me refine my work. Let me get much better at this. I'd never done figures before. I'd never done realism on that level. And so I applied to LCAD, Laguna College of Art and Design, and the chair of the program, Peter Zukoski, who I like a Rada. Like, I love him, like a person on earth that you're going like, not only was he a great artist, but super filled with depth. You know what I mean? Sometimes those are the people too that you think that are just, they're like, hey, how's it going? You're like, that guy's so how's it going? Because he's dealing with like a well of like thought, you know what I mean? And that the deepness of what he comprehends the world almost makes him give the most kind, external, like, I know how tough it is. That's Peter, just an amazing chair of the program. And I was allowed in, and I'd never used oil before. I had never done figures before. I was like, oh, track. This is track, like, let's go. It's like you go into other fields and there's not that same offering that track gives you, which it is like a really great blessing what track gives you, like this constant sharpening, constant challenge, like even, and especially if you're not winning all the time. It's like people think it sucks to not win all the time. No, that's like winning all the time is great, but you also need to be sharpened. Like you getting through this practice was a meet. And it's kind of like we're saying about like becoming the good parent. Like you're going like, I just become the great mom or the good wife or the good father or the good husband now. And you're going like, no, like that meet was that repeat 2 day. That was a meet that day. And if you decided to slack off on it, that's the same, that was a meet day, you know? If you didn't do so well, that's fine. That was a meet day. You didn't do so well that meet day, but then you did well in that you did as best as you can and you learned from it. And so for me, I approached the art exactly the way I approached track. I was like, this is exactly like this. So I'm going to do exactly how I did training, which is I go every day, I work really hard. my frustrations will never overwhelm me to the point where like I'm gonna get in the way of like progress, you know? And so I just was overly obsessed with it in the way that like I think track kind of requires, not track, in order to perfect something, it requires a little bit of obsession, you know?
Yeah.
Hopefully people strike a good balance. I think sometimes I struck a good balance, sometimes it wasn't, in terms of like when it's in nature to sort of be high perfecting, the obsessiveness can sometimes be good and sometimes it's like, it's not good because sometimes you can think you didn't do something great and you did. And that's where, you know what I mean? The obsessiveness is not good because you'll go, like this girl from high school came out to visit me when I was in, after college. And she was like, how's it going, Magnolia? I haven't seen you for a long time, da da da. And I was like, good, just trying to get that time down, you know, trying to get that time on. She was weird. She used to say that in high school all the time. And I was like, oh, weird. I did? She's like, yeah, you were obsessed with the time. That made me feel weird. I was like, dang, really? And I was like, oh. She's like, yeah. And it made me feel weird because in high school, I was state champion in Nebraska. And I did all right. But then I ran like, what, 12.2? And it was like, yeah, but it's not 11.8. Like, it's not like, it wasn't like what the girls were running in California. So it was never good enough. Even though I was the fastest in the state 2 years in a row. And the last year I didn't lose one race, neither of those things. But it was like, yeah, but you're not that time. And it's like, and so I'm saying that because the obsessiveness, sometimes it's good, but to me, the dark side of it is that you're going like, you're not having enough sense of gratitude and for where you're at, for what you've done, and for taking that just as that. Like, you don't want to constantly be self-improvement to the point where you're never just going like, that was cool.
Yeah, or give yourself grace.
Yeah, and just go, that was a good moment. It's like, not every moment needs to be like, dun da da da, you know? Like, that moment you just got done practice today, that's dun da da da. Like, that's great. Like, you did the best to be nice to people. That was accomplished, cool. You didn't yell at anybody. Maybe you're having a bad day. Like, sometimes the bar, it's not even that the bar's low. Sometimes the bar needs to just be that, like, you did the best you can, and each day you do the best you can. And with that comes like a type of civility and openness towards other humans and yourself. Like you're saying, like a grace. Like you gave yourself grace and gave others grace. So like that program, like Peter, I uplift him because he was like, I view it in again, like a track world. Like he was like, to me, a coach that I will always uphold as like a massive high influence in my life now as an artist. But I put him in line with like coaches. Like I think Bobby Kersey, I think Coach Rada, I think of like my 4 high school coaches that were amazing. And so I graduated in May, and then after when you graduate, like I feel like the thing they don't tell you is like in art school, like people, kind of like track, people paint all the time, like they run and don't realize that you have to work another side of it. Like it's not enough just to do, I would say the fun part, because track was fun but not, and that's painful, but the pain becomes fun, you know? You're going like, you have to do more than the track thing. You have to kind of like when you graduated, you're like, getting my master's over here. I'm gonna work at this school, I'm gonna do this thing and this thing. You're going like, that has to be with the thing to even make this thing meaningful, you know? It's like, now you're coaching Cerritos, impacting generations of humans. You're going, that mindset, that thingy should run parallel to this thingy. And with art, I've felt the same way. So everything I've sort of approached this art world with has been with the track. So when I graduated, Peter told me, whatever you do, don't stop painting. Because when people graduate, you're going, I'm not getting paid to paint. Yeah. And I don't have time. And it feels like you're messing around. But in the same way that track, I feel like you're messing around. You're like, I'm running, like, but that's with life. Working out feels like you're messing around when you're serious about life.
When you're in the journey, it is like, that is the process.
Yeah. And when you're being, like, have bills and life to do, taking time to work out can feel like you're not being serious. Every day you get through a training and you, like, nail it. I remember like feeling sometimes like a little kid, like what? Like, you know what I mean? Coach calls the time, you go, freaking ran that. And you've done it since like 3rd, 2nd grade. You've been doing it your whole life. You're going like, isn't that kind of life? Like you should sort of like take those like moments and those wins. You got through practice and you got out of the blocks good. And you're going, oh my God, what am I doing? I just got out of the blocks, amazing. You know? And you're going, that's right. You should sort of quietly celebrate that and not develop any kind of arrogance, but you should celebrate like these moments, because life is like, you go to the meet next week and then you lose. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Like, I'm saying, like, it has this like weird thing that you're going like, so what are you gonna do? Just go, nothing matters until you win at that one meet. You know what I mean? So that win that you had at the practice, you're going, that win will come through somewhere else. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Like, it'll come through. It didn't come through at that 100 that week, but that start that you did is a masterpiece in the making. And that thing that you didn't win for 5 meets, on the 6th meet, you're gonna PR and then go, and then you're gonna wish you hadn't sort of overly harsh judged.
Yeah. Oh no, that's for sure.
You know what I mean? The trail.
And it's funny because no one remembers your failures really, like we do sometimes. Is like trying to perfect things.
Yeah.
Like we remember probably our worst moments more than anybody in the world.
Yeah,
But
I think
people
so.
do like you know understand and respect our highlights.
I think so, and I think people are more apt to want to celebrate you than you think.
Yeah.
Because I feel like even at races, I remember at one Olympic trials in Trinidad, it was the 400, and it was like, it's weird. In Trinidad, you can like hear them very well over the speakers, because you hear bum bum ba-dum ba-bum, the steel drums.
Yeah.
But then you hear them, they're like, Magnolia, look how she's running. They have all this exposition, like all these like extra things they're saying, you know? It's not as like, you know, it's Caribbean, so they're just giving a little extra stuff. So I remember I got out of the box and they go, look at Magnolia like a bat out of hell. And I'm like hearing that, I'm like, a bat out of hell, funny. You know what I mean? Like, focus, you know what I mean? Like, but it's just like, I remember hearing it, and then I remember coming around the bend, and I went from second, within, and you know how 400 is, within this little, I went from second to third to fourth, to like within like, meaning my system went, like it like stiffened up in a weird way, where you're going like, don't try, actually relax now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but like as an athlete, sometimes you can fall into the, no,
I gotta
like,
press.
yes, you gotta press. And it's like the thing every coach tells you to do, which I wasn't abiding by, which is like, don't press, breathe more, relax more. Like literally go, like, I don't know, think of a cartoon. Just literally don't panic, you know? And I was going, because I was second and I could feel them, I was like, get to the line. And I could hear the people in the stands going like, what you doing? Why you slow it down? And I'm thinking, I'm not trying to. And then someone's like, just go, you're right there. Why you slowing down, Magnolia? It's like questions. Like, oh, well, let me explain what's happening to my system. And I'm saying that because like, I remember after the race, I was like, oh, I looked awful. People think the worst. They think, what a loser. You know, like you're just thinking all these worst things. And meanwhile, afterwards, people were like, Magnolia, that was a good run. I mean, there were people going like, you were close, you know? And then, I mean, you're going to get that, but that's fine. You're going, for the most part, people are like, the fact that you're even out there is like a thing. And you don't even know that. You're going like, no, but they don't really know how track is though. They don't realize that you think that someone doesn't realize the thing that you realize they realize. And it's like, no, like they're seeing it right. Like you're not seeing it right. Like in 2012, same thing. I went to Olympic trials and I got 4th. And I remember my dad came with me. My dad, since, you know, is like not so much here anymore, but like he came, and I remember, and he's from Trinidad, and he was so proud. You know, like we just went back to Trinidad 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
And saw where he grew up, and we'd been there before, but like he's from St. Augustine. We went to like the market where his father was a butcher. We went to all these places. And I was like, I looked at my brother and I said, dude, Daddy's so cool. Daddy's so freaking cool. He came here and he walked around here and was like, I know something you don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know I'm gonna just never give up. Like that mindset of just like coming from any place that is challenging, small, different, you're going like, I don't know what's gonna happen. I just know I'm never giving up. And that was my dad. And so like, my mom's like that too, but my dad is like a weird Caribbean kind of athletic violence behind that thought, in terms of you're like, no, it's never gonna happen. Death first, like a death first mentality, which I feel like a lot of athletes in some ways sort of, there is this like over my dead body kind of mentality in a good way, in that like you're going, my soul has been giving me a feeling of a purpose and I must do everything and die trying in a healthy way. But like, I'm not gonna just go, never mind. I don't really think, no one's looking at me, no one likes my art, no one's buying anything, no one knows me. Like I didn't know anybody before I made the Trinidad team. 2 years training. It would have been really easy to go, hey, you're not the fastest one out here. Like, you weren't even the fastest one at Long Beach. You were 4th. You're always getting 4th. Like, you're not the fastest in the state right now. And also, who do you know from Trinidad besides my dad? Like, I was like writing emails, 2 years. Like writing emails like, hi, how are you? And then going to practice and training with no money, even though I had journalism job offers, and then like going like, I can't even think about that. I got the offer. Oh my gosh, you see how much is getting paid. And you're going like, 2 roads. I could do that, and then like, I see the ascension of that career. You're like, or I really feel like I'm supposed to run, you know? And so I'm saying all that because that's a whole backstory of all this thing, this crest. And like, then 2012, Olympic trials, I don't make the team in Trinidad, and I'm like devastated, like, Oedipus gouging my eyes out, you know, like, life is over. And my dad goes, you're looking at this all wrong. And I was like, no, you don't get it. Imagine someone's older,
Yeah,
like, you don't get it. He's like, dude, like, lived through everything. And he was like, no, he's like, you run for my country. He's like, do you know how hard it is? Like, he's like, you know how many little kids want? He's like, you know, he's like, you represent the family. And he was like, the fact that you even like did this and that you were even here, he was just like so proud. And it took me maybe 2 years after that to go, oh, okay, I get it, you know? Because at the time I was like, he doesn't get about times, even though Daddy ran track, like he went to Chapman, he's still in the Hall of Fame there, you know? So I'm going, he doesn't get something. It's like the same thing, I'm sure if I have a kid, God willing, they'll be being like, she doesn't get this about this race. And you're like, dude, I totally get it. What, like, I'm an athlete, like I get the feeling of this. And so he was just shaking his head, so I was like, just like, and he was just like, all right, like, you'll be fine. Like, this is great. I'm happy. Like, I'm proud. You should be too. And so I feel like that, it took me like a year and a half, maybe, like I said, maybe 2 years to go. I get that now, what he's saying. Like, because now when I'm retired, and I feel like it's funny because people are like, I'm an Olympian, I'm a this, or I'm the greatest artist. And you're going like, most humans are just really excited to celebrate people that are just making an effort.
Yeah.
And then if they're able to produce something from that effort, that's it. That's it. Like, and you're going, there's something about that that's really great. And that this constant strive to be beyond the best of yourself, which is like, not only the best of myself, but I want everybody else to think of. And you're going, no, just try to be the best of yourself. And whatever else comes from that, sort of comes from that. But like, just work to manifest the highest level of yourself, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, physically. And like, so I sort of have a massive appreciation and belief that like, at all these steps along the way, all these people that are involved in your becoming is like, you take all of them with you. Yeah. And that everyone is a part of that, so that like, otherwise it means nothing. Like, it means nothing. So Tressa for me has been like, no matter where I go in life, whatever happens, she's now in my Hall of Fame with coaches, you know? Yeah. Because this opportunity at Billis Williams, and not just opportunity, because there's like, it could have been, I've had galleries which is also just business. With her, it's like, she actually like, she's like funny, she has a soul. Not that no one has a soul, but I'm saying like, she's like alive still. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, she's not on autopilot. She's not doing what many adults tend to do. No, I have like if you have even just one person that gets you, and if you don't have one person that gets you, because I do think even if you get yourself, sometimes it helps to have external factors that understand you. If you don't have a human that gets you in any level, then I tell people, well, go to the arts, because there's a song that's going to reflect another human that totally gets you. Yeah. And that sounds like sort of lame, because you're going like, yeah, but I'm lonely. And you're going like, it's for a little bit. Yeah. It won't always be like that. Yeah. But like,
use this as a bridge till you get that.
Yeah. There's movies and music, and there's countless other humans from the dawn of man that have experienced that same feeling of like, I'm alone in this world. You know what I mean? Like, I think sometimes like 16th century or 15th century, or when we were in Trinidad, I thought, do you know how many people, like you drive by people and you see people sometimes sitting, eating a mango, or just someone in their own space, and you're going, imagine being in a space like that, or from a small town, and maybe you have big dreams, and no one gets you. You're like, that person thinks he's the only person, it's the first time it's ever happened. You're going like, no, nothing is new under the sun. You are not alone in your weirdness, you are not alone in your uniqueness, or in your sort of being ostracized. It's like, you're not. You're just a part of a group you haven't really found yet. Yeah. You know, you're just a part of and even if you find the group, they're not going to understand every avenue. You don't need that. It's like I said, if someone just fully comprehends one morsel of you, and they go, I totally get that one side of you, I think that's like huge to me, because I'm going, everyone's so complex. to me, if someone's ever feeling like ostracized or they don't fit in or they're kind of this, it's like, if you're an artist and an athlete, or you're an athlete and a this, completely be that. Because most likely, the people that didn't understand you, or didn't think you were interesting, or didn't think you were whatever the thing is, life is long. They're eventually going to come back to it and go, oh, well, I didn't really know what I was talking about.
Yeah.
And you this whole time are thinking this person knows what they're talking about, and they don't. So it's like you don't want to give up any morsels of yourself for the potential of someone else who doesn't actually comprehend even themselves.
Yeah.
And so I feel like in having that understanding of that, and I've had that for like a long time, I'm going, no, I'll let you think that. And in some ways you can take as a coping mechanism, instead of being a victim, you can take a confident kind of like, I'll allow it perspective. So someone's like, oh, she weak. And you're going, cute, I'll allow it. I'm not even gonna fight that.
Yeah.
No complain, no explain. I'll allow this behavior to exist around me. And then you just quietly say, I know who I am. And life is a ticking clock. You're going like, it's fine. This is gonna roll out, and this isn't gonna age well on your...
Or for you.
Yes, for you. Self-delusion. And so that's, like, I would say even, like, my series is called, like, The Nature of ... And the idea was to talk about, like, everything has a nature to it. And essentially, because my parents used to say this growing up, like, we grew up with a lot of proverbs and sayings and Aesop's fables, you remember those books and everything? And, like, and even the poetry and music, like, they're communicating in a benevolent way of truth to you about something. That's what all that type of stuff is. It's like, this is the truth, but here's not a harsh way of telling you. And the nature of is to say that everything has a nature to it. And my dad used to say, everything has a trick to it. There's a nature to everything. All you have to do is figure out what that thing is. So we're like, oh, so everything has a nature to it. And when we live in a world where there's more social media access, there's more like, it's good that things are open, but you don't want things to be open to this point where it goes nihilistic, to a full circle where nothing exists. Do you know what I mean? Like, everything is so everything that it's nothing again. You know, and you're like, oh no, everything is everything, and then there's also still this. You know, like there's half open, half structure. And to me, the nature of is to say that everything has a nature to it, and there's some things that it doesn't matter, that's going to go past our time. It doesn't matter if I agree with it, or you agree with it, or we go like this is a wall, and it doesn't matter if you go, oh, I don't really see it like that. You're like, well, you can write a poem about some other concept, but the fact is this. And so each piece that I've been like working on the last couple of years has been a benevolent way of saying, let's talk about these common things that we do know that are cemented about, like, and athletes need those, because in order to run a really good race, you're saying affirmations to yourself. And the affirmations can feel like they're not true, but for the most part they are. You just have a hard time believing it because you're like scared and you have fear, and there's all those like other things. But like when you go, I'm the best, I'm gonna run fast, I believe in myself, like, man, I'm strong today, I'm the strongest I've ever been. Like it feels like you're just saying these things, but it's all true. You are the best, not better than other people, but you are the best. You're here, you're alive, you're healthy. These are the affirmations that, having run track pro, and even from my family background, that we grew up saying and thinking in order to survive. And that sometimes, whether you have money or not, or the opportunity's presented itself to you, or everybody's watching your thing or not, or you have a whole network or not, the one thing you have are these truthful things that sort of keep you grounded, in my opinion. Like your love for something is truth, you know what I mean? Your love, or I don't know, like one of the paintings in there, which was the kids with the fire eating the ice cream. It says burn the screen, take the ice cream. You know, it's like from The Godfather where he says, take the gun, leave the cannoli. And the idea was like, burn the screens, let's indulge in the ice cream. Like, there's a truth about the importance of innocence. And that while screens are great, and I like watching stuff too, it is a truth that you should protect your innocence. And no matter how old you get, that is one of the most important things that you could do about yourself, and not to overexpose yourself to bad environments, to bad people. And if you are in a bad environment, then you do the best you can to like protect, it's the mind, it's your heart. It's literally you closing your eyes then and saying, I don't want to, or even someone's saying a bunch of weird stuff, like a track, you then sort of, nope, I believe in this. Someone's like, you're nothing. I'm great. I'm everything. There's a whole line of people behind me that efforted life for me to exist. So I feel like the affirmations of like affirming that you're here for a reason, and as much as you want to be open about the world and like there being a lot of truth and different type of perspectives, you want to be open for that, but then also be open that we all have we have some shared truths, and that some of these truths, and maybe I could paint the affirmations that I grew up with and the things that I've told myself, or that I do tell myself every day when something happens. Like if you feel uncomfortable, or if you feel strange, you go, there's like certain things that have to run through your system all the time, through your mind, in order to get you through things, to not give up, And so there's an ingredient and manual to how to get through things, even though I think when you're young, they tell people like, no, you can just do this. You can just do whatever you want, and later on that thing won't happen. You're like, no, there's like a manual to the human soul.
Yeah.
There's like a way that if you do certain things, like what we were saying earlier about like, you don't become a mom now, or husband now, or wife now. If you do certain things now, even if you're living in the present, if you don't take into account future you, like you might look back and go, dang it. And so it's like, that's to me means that you have to just keep saying affirmations to go, I know you don't have this now. I know you don't have all the money in the world, and I know you don't have this opportunity, but keep painting. Or I know you're not number one athlete right now, but keep training today. I know you've gotten the last 5 races, doesn't matter. Keep training, keep this moment in college. It doesn't seem like it's gonna have a huge ripple effect later, but I feel like even at Long Beach, I feel like all that stuff had massive ripple effects for later, And high school does too, but I really do believe like high school is kind of like your first society. College is like high school is like a rehearsal of like, this is what world is.
Yeah.
College is like
in a safe and a closed, predetermined environment.
Yes, yeah. Right. And so high school, you're going like, because to me, the real world feels like a big, especially not social media, feels like a big high school, where it's like now social media is like an auditorium where someone's like, you suck, and you're like, wait, who said that? You know what I mean? In terms of anyone could just say things, That's why I always tell people, don't get triggered. It's like we're in an auditorium now. Like anyone could just be like, hey, your shoes are ugly. And you're like, wait, what? And you're like, it's an auditorium. That's what happens in auditoriums. Like people are going to say mean things, whether it's true or not. But your community matters, your family matters, your coaches matter. If you meet good elders and good leaders, if you have good coaches, like I feel like the times in my life where I've had good coaches, I'm like, man, like Tressa, I feel like, okay, what does she say? How does she think about stuff? Like I'm like almost, you kind of fall into a student role of like a kid again, where you're like, okay, cool, thank you so much. Anything else I need to say or think? Some of them are thrown off because I'm older doing that. I'm like, okay, yes, thank you. But I'm going like, yeah, like you're a great leader. That's cool. Like there's something I could learn from you. And so, yeah, I feel like the moment you get in college, you're like, we're live. It's like, we're live now. It's not
past rehearsal.
Yeah. You're not in rehearsal the way you think you are, because like the things in high school kind of affect you in later life, but like the college people are still alive when you're an adult. Like we're still like that's the world of people that you are going to be inside of the situation with. Not that you're not with high school, but then like
I think in high school you kind of, it's like almost a predetermined identity a little bit.
Yeah.
And then you get to actually build your identity in college. And then while you're building your identity, you're actually connecting, and those people are helping put bricks in and lay some of the foundation of your identity.
That's exactly right. And there shouldn't be a nonchalance about that in terms of going like, well, I haven't made it as this, or I haven't like, because I feel like even in these younger generations, there's been a pressing for like, you have to be the thing at the end now. And you're going, what, you want to be 50 now? You want to be the thing that maybe you get when you're like 50? And it's like, no, but I want it now. And you're going like, what if you're not equipped to handle it now? Like, you know what I mean? Like whatever I don't have and whatever I do have now, I'm grateful for, because even the things that I'm wanting, like I was just talking to my friend Kendall about this, like in Rome, that like, I want certain things to happen at certain paces, but then I'm going like, I know there's a reason why it's happening at the pace, and I just have to like be a little kid about it and accept, work as hard as you can, and stop being so like, it's like God gives you one part, but you're like, yeah, but I needed this part with it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He's like,
I got you.
Right, easy. Like, you got that. You could have not even had that part. And you're like, I know, but I would prefer if you gave me the whole thing at one time. And you're going like, the fact that you have a platform, the fact that you have this, I want you to stay inside the little smallness of just working hard at that. It's like going to practice first year of college and going like, well, I want to be pro. Cool. You know that.
Yeah.
But get to practice today.
Yeah.
And focus on training and learn to be a good pupil. Like learn to be a good student so that anyone who's a good elder, and even the bad ones, that you can be imparted what to do and what not to do. You know what I mean? Otherwise it's like you're losing valuable, like energetic possibilities of history that these people are bringing to you. You know, like all the history that run through people that get older, you're going like, that's useful, including if they're weirdos.
Yeah.
You're going like, oh, that's
something to take away.
Yeah, something to take away. Going, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. Or you go, oh, I'm gonna do just that. You know. So yeah, I feel like.
Okay, I'm gonna wrap up.
Okay.
Wow, that was so funny.
Yeah, I know, wasn't it?
No, but serious. I want to thank you for your time. I think, we don't often get opportunities in life to connect with people and be able to have that deep level of appreciation for. And
I feel like laughing.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I know this part of you that's so, you have a dynamic where you're so brilliant, but then really funny. And so I feel like a little kid sometimes I'm around you. Like I'm really grateful that we got to just talk. Like even just, it sort of makes my, we talk about like feeling like yourself and not feeling ostracized. Like even sometimes just being around you, I feel like,
yeah,
like I can be myself a little
Good.
bit. Yeah, so
because that's what I want people to see. Because I think like there's a lot of people that have depth that sometimes don't have the support and background that you've had to allow yourself to feel comfortable to be you.
Yeah.
And I think that's important that people see that you can be anything you want. You can come from different backgrounds.
Right.
You can really tackle those things.
Yeah, you don't have to adhere to one note of a trait and someone, because I think sometimes people get nervous about like, and I get nervous too because there's certain energy fields that are like, what's that about? But then like I said, it's like anytime you meet a person that like sort of goes, no, I get that part of you, you're going, oh my gosh, this person totally gets that I'm like scridiggle, you know? So like I'm so grateful that you messaged me and to be able to be on your platform. And honestly, like I said, I wouldn't say looked up to you because you're like same age-ish, but like sort of like you've always had a very commanding sort of like, it's weird, the duality of really funny and silly, but then very lawful at the same time. And so even growing up, like I said, when you said you were gonna get the master's, like I've never forgot that. Like that was I remember the day you said it.
Wow.
And I remember thinking, oh, this guy's like, he's on another universe, you know, like he knows exactly who he is. He knew exactly what he was doing at track. This wasn't just like running and just like not knowing anything. And then he's like, I'm gonna work here and I'm gonna be this. And everything you said, I remember that conversation. Everything you said, you've done. How weird, because that doesn't even always happen in life. You could like try for things. And so, I don't know, I'm grateful that you've given me opportunities. Like with my paint company years ago, you hired me for some track thing,
Yeah, that
you know?
was cool.
Yeah, like
I still have all those.
you've
Yeah, that was
always
so much fun.
supported me. And so I feel like the athletes are lucky to get you because it isn't just like you're saying, you become a dad or you become a mother or wife. Like you've always been this way. You've always been this way. Someone who's funny, interesting, really deep, but then also just like good for no reason. You know, like just always like cool with people. I remember you just talking to people randomly at track, just being nice. It didn't matter what the status thingy was. In some ways, you talking to that person made it cool too, because you're just like, I do it. That's what I do. And so it's kind of cool because that's the mindset people should be taking with like, if someone else is not leading right, you lead right.
Yeah.
You go talk to that person. You go help that person. Because most of the time, people will look at that and are watching. They go, dang, that person's like, you know. So I've always felt that way about you. And so it's cool that you even reached out to me. And like I said, and thank you because you helped me with that art stuff. And so you, to me, are a part of my journey and all this stuff, and will always be, you know. So I'm super happy that you've always been like sort of accepting of my personality.
Yeah.
You know, and in times in track teams where I've always not felt the most, I don't know, skiddiggle. I never felt like I sort of vibed with everybody just because it's like, I come from like, again, I'm an immigrant in many ways to the country. I'm first generation. And so that comes with like, I have like different ingredients. Not that everyone has different ingredients, but I'm not like one main like thing from one country. It's like I've got different country ingredients, and like you were always like, "What's up, Mags?" Like just super, and I'm like, "What? That guy's being cool. What's that about?" He gets
What's the update? What's the update?
yeah, what's your whole thing about that, you know? And I make a dark joke, and you're laughing. I'm going, "Huh? Why do you laugh at that weird thing I just said?" You know? Like, so, anyways, I'm just really grateful for you.
Where can people find you or support you?
All right. Yeah, so they can find me at magnolia.aotr. That's my Instagram. And yeah, I do most of my postings about what I'm up to. And yeah, so stay in touch. I'd love to stay in touch with you guys. If you're doing cool stuff, DM me. If you're doing art, especially if you're a track person, if you're doing art, you're a track person, please get in touch. I'd love to follow you and follow your journey. And, you know, as a smaller community, it's kind of really cool to meet other athletes that are venturing into the arts, because a lot of the times people do stay in their lane in terms of they don't brush over. But if you're an artist or a writer, if you're other things too, but if you're artist or writer, please send me a DM or follow, and I'd love to follow you back and support you.
Awesome. Thank you, Maggie.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.